Do you tend to say yes when you really mean no? Do you find you're afraid of someone's reaction if you stand up for yourself and instead you placate or acquiesce so that you avoid conflict or a negative reaction? I'm Todd Goodwin, a hypnotist, and today I want to address the phenomenon known as people pleasing. I think on one level or another, most of us have been people pleasers at one time or another, and we certainly know people, maybe very intimately in our lives, who go out of their way to do whatever they can to help other people, or they're very quick to agree when they really should disagree. And there are some reasons why this happens, and I'll get to that in a moment. The negative outcome or the undesirable outcome of being a people pleaser is that first, you set people up for unrealistic expectations that you're always going to be there to do whatever they want. So this form of enabling other people by always agreeing or always saying, sure, I'll take care of that, or yes, I'll do it, I'll be there and I'll help you, or I'll take on more work. What this is doing is it's training other people to be dependent upon you on some level. So it actually, in some ways, prevents them from doing the work that they, if they did it, would allow them to feel a sense of satisfaction and responsibility. So that's one undesirable outcome, and that they become dependent, so they continue to ask you for things so that you can, again, say yes. Now, the real negative consequence of being a people pleaser is that when you agree to do things externally, even though internally you disagree, you create internal conflict. In other words, you consciously say yes, but subconsciously say no. So you outwardly do the thing that inwardly you feel you want to say no to, but there's a fear typically holding you back from actually saying no. And as a result, you go out of your way, you do that thing, you put other people's needs in front of your own, which not only can be an inconvenience, but it actually causes your self-esteem to go down because you are honoring yourself less than you're honoring other people. And so if you say yes when you mean no, what you're really doing is you're saying yes to someone else's needs and you're saying no to your own needs. Now, take that a next step. And what typically happens is you tend to resent the person for making you say yes. Now, even though it's your choice and you're the one doing it, you actually resent the other person for being the person that causes you to cave in and agree with them. Then you end up resenting yourself for allowing yourself to be walked all over and to be a pushover or a doormat. So this is the problem with the people pleasing. And of course, when someone is a people pleaser again and again and again, which, by the way, is not a personality trait or an inherited trait. It's something that's learned, and it's a property or a behavior that emerges from a certain state of mind or belief system. When someone is a people pleaser again and again and again, that repetition of prioritizing someone else over yourself suppresses the self-worth and self-esteem even more. So confidence continues to drop, and then at a later time, it's even harder to say no, even though you know you should. So what causes this? And then how do we resolve it? What causes the phenomenon of being a people pleaser usually is a fear of rejection, a fear of having someone upset at you for standing up for yourself or for not doing whatever they want. Now, if this is a boss or a coworker, or maybe even worse, someone in your family, a child or a spouse, when you always agree or mostly agree to do what they want, even though in your heart you want to say no, this usually comes from a fear of getting them to be upset at you. After all, you don't want them to think that you're selfish or greedy or that you're inconsiderate or mean or rude or any of those things. Now, even if they would think that, really, if you have that attitude and there's that fear that you have, that's your issue. It's not about them. So it's the fear of judgment, rejection, criticism that comes from standing up for yourself and being assertive That's the fear that stops most people from really saying no. After all, we don't want to be seen as rude or selfish, even though there are times when, for our own benefit, we have to say, I appreciate your asking me. I would love to be able to help you, and I just don't have the time, the energy, the inclination to do it at this point. Another way to deal with that is simply to ask, I understand you're asking me to do this. Can I get back to you in an hour? Can I get back to you in a day? Can I think about it before I commit to something? And that can give you a chance to figure out how you could do it. And if you need to say no, then at least you have time to figure out how to communicate it in a polite, considerate way that also honors you. See, one of the keys to being assertive is to honor the rights of the other person while also honoring yourself. People sometimes are very aggressive, which is when they walk all over someone else and they only think of themselves, while other people are very passive, like the people pleaser, that allow other people to walk all over them. So the key is to be assertive, which is a balanced state where you are able to say what you need to say that is first respecting yourself, which causes your self-esteem and respect to go up, but also being considerate of the other person. And keep in mind that sometimes, based on the other person's issues, they may get upset. That's their right, and it takes self-esteem and confidence to be able to stay firm with your decision in the face of that kind of judgment or criticism. So the solution to this is, as with so many things, restoring a strong sense of self-confidence and self-esteem. Once you have that, and you know that you are worthy and you're a good enough person that does not require someone to tell you you're okay to feel okay, then you're able to say yes when you mean it, and very often you're able to say no when you mean it, and then you're no longer a people pleaser, but you're someone who takes care of your own needs first. And when you do that, you will always have the energy and the resources needed to do the best job you can when you do mean to say yes. So that's a way to look at people pleasing and the causes, the challenges, and of course the resolution of it. I'm Todd Goodwin. Use your mind to work with you instead of against you, and have a wonderful day.